That's why when I got saved for 10 years, I didn't touch any musical instrument. I stayed out of music. I remember I was in House on the Rock and Pastor Obi Ekweme saw me because he used to come to Shrine. I'm talking about Alex Ekweme's son, pastor of House on the Rock, Abuja. He said, Keji, you are in House on the Rock. Why are you not in the choir? I said, let that go, man. I'm not interested in that. I want to know God. However, there's this guy that came one Sunday morning as I entered the hotel room, because on Friday night is Yabi's night in Shrine. On Saturday night is comprehensive show. Once it is 12 midnight, the music stops. We go into the dressing room. Fella and I take off shirts. We mark our face with native chalk. Then they open the shrine where we worship. They put off all the whole electrical globes. We light native lamps. And then the shrine, we go before it, bow down, use our head to touch the floor 3 times. Of course, there's a jar of palm wine and a bottle of shinap and then a chicken in there. Then he goes in and pour libation to all the gods and then cut the chicken's neck. At times when he cuts it, he capsizes it like that with the blood flowing down his throat. Have you ever heard of it? No. The press won't talk about that. They will tell you about his stardom, his greatness, his whatever. I appreciate it. I learned a lot from him. But the young people need to know the truth. So, after one Saturday night, as I got in, a young man came, knocked the door. When I opened, he was standing there looking very radiant. And he said to me, young man, let us go to church this morning. Follow me to church. I gave him 2 dirty slaps. I said, are you mad? What's my business with church? I worship my gods overnight. And the guy ran. I slammed the door. He put a tract under the door. I picked the tract, put it by the table. Next Sunday, he was back there. He knocked. I opened, but this time he was standing afar. Wise man. And I said to him, if I get hold of you, I'm going to kill you. And he said, young man, let's go to church. With a smile. And I slammed the door. Put a tract. He kept putting tracts. I never read one. I was keeping it by the table. But that night I prayed that prayer. When I woke up the next morning, I took the tract, read the tract, saw the confession prayer, prayed it, looked at the address, Assemblies of God, somewhere in Lasamaja, the suburb of Lagos, and I went to church one Sunday morning. But you know, Assemblies of God church, religious church. And I was coming with one big earring here, one small. My hair was bad, here tinted red, clippers, roots, fella, love sign, Keji hair, studded jeans with chains. So as I got in there, the whole church turned, looked at me, and they turned away. But I walked in anyways, walked up to a bench. And as I got to the bench, there were about 7 people sitting. Everybody. I sat. The pastor started preaching. As he was preaching, he was saying some things. And I said in my heart, you this man, when you finish saying all you're saying, we meet out there, then we talk one-on-one. You will repeat yourself. I'm going to deal with you today. But unfortunately, the guy finished and he made an altar call. I didn't know what happened. But before I knew it, I was the only one standing in front. I was sobbing. I was crying. I didn't know what happened, man. You know that. And that was it. Gave my life to Christ. And then for about, the pastor announced the 4-day revival that we should attend. I attended. But I must say this. The cocaine, the heroin, the women, everything stopped. I was unable to tell you what happened between me and the 3 prostitutes when they came back the next day. How I told them, listen, I'm a changed man. And they were laughing at me. And I said, don't touch me again. I'm not interested and all that. And 2 left immediately. 1 kept staying, tormented my life, but I could not do it again. Something has happened. There was an authentic transformation. Something has happened. I mean, this girl with bath, come into the room, all naked, dressing up. I would just be reading one small Bible. She will come, climb me. What is wrong with you now? What happened to you? I would just be looking at her. What's wrong with this girl? You know? But for a couple of months, something was happening. I want to say that because somebody might be here struggling. The problem was cigarette. And as a drug rehabilitator, I've discovered that cigarette contains 450 chemicals. How many of you know that? A stick of cigarette contains 450 chemicals. Anyhow, at the end of the day, I attended the revival on the 4th day. God slain in the spirit. Saw an angelic being walk to my body, opened my chest, put his hand, removed something. I used to be asthmatic. I used to carry 2 inhalers around. From that day till date, 17 years, I've never had an attack of asthma. Authentic transformation. So that was that. God has taken care of my spiritual life. If I had remained like that and said it's only prayer and fasting I'll be doing, I won't be where I am today. That comes to the place of authentic transformation in the mental and in the physical. Because don't get too spiritual that you now think that if you need money, when you pray, carton of money will drop from heaven. Don't get too spiritual that you believe that you are masquerade. So that took me to the next phase. Remember I told you, I dropped out of school. I was to read pharmacy. So I needed to go back. But this time, I could not go to normal university. I had to take a part-time course and all that. Just to step up and, And after that, the final stage was that I gave myself to what is called self-development. If there's any gift you can give me that I cherish, it's a good book. It's a good book. Isaiah 5:13. Therefore, my people are gone into captivity because they lack knowledge. Not because witches and wizards are powerful. Isaiah 11:9. They shall not hurt or destroy on my holy mountain, for the earth shall be covered with knowledge of the word of God as water covered the sea. Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And Jesus summed it up by saying, and you shall know the truth, and the truth will make you free. Earlier when I was starting, I was telling us, I've shared the testimony, I was telling us the steps to authentic transformation. A dream what else? Information. And that's why once again I want us to put our hands together for Pastor and Mrs. Ben Akibe. So I decided. One day I came out, I stood, I went to the airport again. I've been going through that airport for many years, flying. But I was not seeing anything because I was a drug addict. I was just seeing only myself, full of myself. So I went, I sat down, I was watching people. And I said to myself, you have always been a drug addict, a street boy trained by the street, a ruffian, a criminal, a killer, a murderer, a non-entity, a man going nowhere, no dream, no vision. Look at some of these people coming. And I told myself, how will I change from who I am now to these people? That was where the journey started. I looked at my age. I saw that I failed. So the first set of books I read were biographies and autobiographies. The first set of books I read were biographies and autobiographies of men who had failed, nothing on their side. And I saw how they came out of obscurity. And from then on, for me, it has been read. And truly, information is the key to transformation.